Welcome back to our SMLT Art'ist podcast, and today our guest is Mykolė Ganusauskaitė. So how are you today?
Oh, very fine.
Okay.
Slowly morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit to us?
I'm a painter, I'm an artist. I finished art academy in Paris, Beaux-Arts de Paris. So lived 8 years in Paris and 2 in Copenhagen. I got my painting studio there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and after all my trips and travels, I came back to Lithuania, where I'm working now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm working with landscapes.
On landscapes,
yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, you were basically in like the capital of, art, and then you came back to Lithuania. Why is that exactly?
Paris is really wonderful for studies, for also making career and so on, and relationships. But for me it was a bit too much people. And I really love Lithuanian lakes, nature. I was painting Lithuanian landscapes in Paris. I was a bit missing all that nature in that beautiful big city. And each time when I was coming back, it was like lots of reminiscence and sentiments, nostalgia and so on.
Yeah.
And then I finished my art studies, and I thought, okay, I will come back because I cannot just leave my country like this. I will come back, and if I will not like it, I will just come back to Paris or other maybe city, Lyon and so on, because in Paris for me it was too much crowded.
Okay, yes. So too much people and you missed your homeland, basically. How many years ago did you come back?
Oh, actually I came back in 2013.
Oh, so that's a long time
ago. And then after 2 years, I moved to Copenhagen for 2 years. And then in 2016, I came back finally to Lithuania.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, so you've spent a long time in Lithuania now.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Did you get this kind of notion to come back to Paris when you've been in Lithuania right now, or?
Time to time, I miss it a lot. I miss exhibitions, professional ones, big ones. Like I miss that culture of little, going to the bars and some that movement in the city. My friends also. So when I come back, for 1 week, 2 weeks, and it's totally fine just to come back for some time, because when I'm there, I really understand why it was not good for me, because it's really too much crowded and it's a bit. I really prefer to live here, if it's possible still. But yeah, I miss it, because you cannot have everything in one place. Nature, countryside like here, and big museums and so on. So we have to fly and travel a bit.
Well, you've been there for, as I understood, 8 years. Did you manage to learn French?
Yeah, I speak fluently French.
Oh, wow. I'm quite jealous. So, okay, we'll come back to the Paris theme once again, but I'm going to try to ask about your art style and, So how did you develop your art style? How did it happen?
I was studying in Čiurlionės art school in Vilnius. So I learned academical drawing and so on, all the basics, but I was missing who I am, what is interesting for me in art, what I want to do. I was just very good in natural art, portrait, academical drawing, yes. And then I moved to Paris. I entered preparatory school, Prépa, who prepares for the big high schools in France. And they taught me how to search for creativity. I totally put apart everything what I learned in Lithuania. and it was just about how to develop ideas, how to create, how to develop some idea that you love, how to put it in like a research process and so on. It was very interesting, very busy. And then when I entered in Paris Art Academy, so you have already to have ideas. What is for you interesting in this world? What you want to draw? What is your mind about, and so on. So I entered a portfolio with lots of ideas after preparatory school, and then in Paris Art Academy they taught how to develop one idea till the final project, exhibition, solo exhibition, your personal creativity, and so on. So they're not like coming to you and telling what to do, like do that, do that. No, they look who you are, what kind of idea you have, and they took one idea or two, you can choose after next idea, and they put it till the highest level, then you can show in solo exhibition and so on.
So they basically like mold you and shape you into who you can be, I guess.
Like, not like shaping, because they just help you to grow up. They don't shape you. That's the point.
Okay, well, I think that's actually very crucial, because I've noticed that like some art schools in here, they only tend to teach you technique, you know, how to draw, how to paint, but they don't want to explore the creativity. And
it's totally different system of studying, and it's nice that some art schools has different way to teach. But what I miss in Lithuania, that all art academies, we have not one. We have in different cities art academies, but still the basics are the same. They teach you how to do things. So, but in France, what is very nice, it's one school, one system, and the other one, even it's in the same city, it's nothing in common. The way how you choose lessons, everything is totally, how they score you, it's totally different. So you don't have to go to other country to study, to like experience some difference. You can just choose the other school in the same city, and it will be nothing in common. So that's why I'm talking about Paris Art Academy, Beaux-Arts de Paris, not about French art school, because it's just different.
Wow, I'm actually very surprised that other schools, you know, have way different different types of teaching.
So my style is also like little by little I came back also to my knowledge that I learned in Lithuania, like academical basics and so on. But at the beginning it was only like almost abstract landscapes, very simple ones, because I needed to just really release everything what I know to boost my creativity, because knowledge sometimes can disturb you and just put you in some kind of cage. Like,
you know, like you put in a box.
Exactly. So I needed to go out of the box, and now I'm using those basics of knowledge of academical drawing and so on, but I'm free in my creativity and my style, and I don't feel that it disturbs me, it helps me now. But after a long trip.
Okay, that's amazing. And as you mentioned, you are very interested in landscape, and it's basically like one of your main themes. Why is that exactly?
Well, when I entered art school in Paris, I had like couple series. It was like interiors, like I made some linear drawings of insides and so on. I made some paintings of, you know, that tapestry of old apartments with some deers or some bears in the background, the old ones. So I made some photos of those ones, and I wanted to draw them to paint, because they looked pretty simple, and I liked that simplicity in that landscape. And I got also portrait series, so lots of things, and I entered to my art school, Paris, Beaux-Arts de Paris. My professor told me, okay, you have to choose one. And for me it was, oh my God, I don't want...
wow, how do I do that?
And I was like, okay, I will draw landscape, like inside, like interiors. And in that background there will be some portraits. So all three connected.
So you managed to combine them somehow.
The portraits, finally, they left. They disappeared, because I didn't manage how to integrate that, how I want to show that. But interiors mixed with landscapes, it's what is about my creativity, it's about space. It's not like about nature, it's about space. So, and I read also one text, very beautiful book. It's Georges Perec about space, like different kind of spaces.
Yeah.
And in that book, he writes that what is the space? It's like something where our eye meets obstacle. It makes everything that the railway will connect at the end of the horizon, because normally it doesn't connect.
Yeah.
So it was a very beautiful text about space, and I began to like search that, make that all that research about landscapes, like material to talk about space. So it's not like landscape, but it's space. And how I express it, where I search for it, it's in the landscape.
Yeah, I think I've read on your page that space is very important, and you know, when you somehow shape it, it maybe even stops you from going outside of the lines. I think that's how I got it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, for me it's lines like walls, like construction.
Yeah, because your works are like very geometric, I would say. Like they have this sort of the shapes are very understandable.
It's like interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you want to tell people through your art? What do you think is like the most important thing that you want to express and tell and show to people?
But for me, I want that, like, it's also like a different kind of seeing of nature, of a space, and what I love when people tells me that, oh, I saw your landscape. They began to see my landscapes in nature because they began to see all those constructions, those shapes, because everything connects. There is like those shapes, that like vertical lines that going down, because all the nature is not just like we are used to see it like horizontal, horizontal pages, horizontal landscapes, but it is made from vertical stuff.
Yeah, trees are vertical after all.
Grass,
like,
resins, it's everything vertical.
Yeah.
And then it makes a horizontal shape. So what is like in my creation, you see lots of verticalities and also like horizontal shapes. It's like
vertical is like put into a horizontal shape. That's actually very interesting.
Searching like in our ethnology and so on, there is like that shape of cross, like vertical energy and ground. So it's all about that also.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting how you like managed to combine those two things. And also, you know, when we look at nature, we don't think of it as very uniform. Yeah. You know, like we think that it's like very diverse and like very moving. And I also even maybe see some part of the, you know, academic things in your paintings, because when you're starting to learn how to draw, you know, there are the main shapes, you know,
it
like
is about that.
like the rectangle, you know, the triangle, like and stuff like that, because our teachers, you know, tell us, you know, where to start from and to look at everything in shapes.
So what I liked a lot in Čiurlionys Art School, it was the beginning of academical drawing, where you draw shapes, and in those shapes you draw some details. So I love to do that with landscapes. And then I was even like student in Čiurlionys Art School. Once I went through a bridge and I saw those like trees and going down in reflection of a river, and I saw, oh, it would be so nice to draw them in some square form, like academical drawing, to shape them, to make them like into some, So that was like first thought about landscape. It was in Čiurlionys Art School, but when I lost that thought because it was about technical more stuff. And also what I'm trying to say, it's more about I just do what I like, and I don't sometimes really think about what I'm trying to say. I just doing what I love, and I don't care about the rest. But now also I'm working with one project. It was my old dream to go to Žalgirių forest, Žalgiriai, when there is inundation there. It's near Rusnė, like near the Mare.
Okay, sadly I've never been there, but
so each spring the water from the rivers comes out, and it's all underwater in the forest.
Oh wow.
And you can see all the time in news, it's like, oh, once again inundation, and some summer houses also is underwater and so on. So this year I went and I rented a kayak, and I was swimming in that forest. So making photos, because first I make photos and then I make drawings and then I make paintings in my studio. And now I'm preparing one big exhibition in Antanas Mončio namai muziejus. It's in Palanga.
Okay.
And it will be created by Raminta Jurėnaitė. And it will be all about
that river, right?
That forest,
the forest
underwater.
Yeah.
And now I really want to show like that spectator will feel like in that forest, because it will be surrounded. He will be surrounded just like about those painting who shows those trees in the water reflection. It will be nothing else, just that forest in the exhibition.
Wow.
So it will be really magic.
I'm actually excited to see that. I think maybe I'll even try to visit. And moving on to a bit of a different theme, and talking about artists, what do you think makes an artist a good artist? What do you think that it takes?
Just following your heart, and also like you have to find what is interesting to you in this world.
Yeah, what drives you?
Not just to draw something. Oh, I have to think something, I have to find some idea, or I will try to do that, and then another subject, and then like skipping, making different styles. Just really to find, like we have all different styles of writing. Like we write in different ways, everybody. You can even search who did that letter by just the writing style. So you have to find your own writing style in painting or drawing, in art. That's your goal, to find that, and then to find what is for you interesting, what drives you on, and just do that. That's all. Okay.
Find your memo and
do it
go
like,
with it.
Not like do it like I don't have the material how to do that or money or so on. No, just do, but do everything what it's needed. Not like, for example, in Paris first year, I made paintings on canvas. Because we thought with my professor that maybe it would be interesting on bigger scale. So I brought canvas and I just painted on my canvas, but without frames, because it's cheaper.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know which one will be good, which one will be not good, and so on. And then he came after 2 weeks, because it's once in 2 weeks and you meet your professor and you work by your own. It's your own personal creativity. And he thought, okay, but your art needs to be on the frames, because those landscapes with space need to have like borders. And I cannot talk about what you did. First you have to put on the frames, and then we will talk. And I was like, okay,
how do
15 paintings on the frames, big scale.
Nice.
And for me it was challenging, because it's expensive, you're a student of first year and so on. And those big canvases where you will put and so on. But I did that. And it was a big lesson for me that if your art needs one or other kind of support or technique or paper or so on, you have to search for the best who fits for your what you are doing. It can be also like art povera and so on just some cartons if it fits. So you have to find the best suit for your idea, your writing and your style of painting. And just really follow your heart, because not money, not something, but just it has to be just about what you like to do.
Okay, that's very nice. And since we've come back to Paris, you've attained your bachelor's and master's degrees in Paris, if I'm not mistaken. So how did that shape you as an artist, or even as a person? You know, what Paris gave you?
Paris gave lots of beautiful exhibitions and museums. So
straight to the point.
When you see your works, when you see the artists who are like the most important in the world, like contemporary artists, artists from art history, in the museums also, and so on, you just have so much energy to create and to do. Like you cannot hold in one place. You want to create. So that thing gave me a lot, lots of experience and creativity and ideas, what I like and where I want to go. But also in Paris Art Academy is one thing very interesting, like it's one atelier of one professor. They're students from first year and from like master degree, it's at one space.
Oh, that's interesting.
So then you first year student with some little sketches and some minimalistic research
And then you
stuff.
see the masters.
And you see like 2 meters on 3 meters canvases near you. You grow up very fast. After 1 year, you do also that kind of canvases.
Okay, I think, that's wow.
It makes you growing very, very fast.
Yeah,
really,
I think that's a great idea, you know, to like put you with more experienced artists, so you strive to be like them.
Yeah.
I actually really like the way, you know, that now that you're telling me, I really like the way that they, you know, taught you guys as students.
It's also a bit of war in that studio because somebody does big ones and you small, and you want also to have my own space.
Yeah.
So also it makes to expand your stuff because no others will take your space. So you have to do also bigger stuff to gain your 1 meter of some area. So yeah, it helps to grow up.
Okay, and I think you've already like partly answered this question, but what experiences in Paris do you remember the most?
Oh, I remember the year, it was very funny, it was Jonas Mekas coming.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that.
Usually in Paris, and it's San Sebastian, and I don't know how I was involved in all that stuff. I think I had some friends coming who knew all those guys, and my friends invited me to come. And then I began to be kind of part where when he comes, his son or some friends writes, okay, let's meet everybody in that bar or somewhere. So it was a very funny year. I met lots of interesting people, actors and so on, and Jonas Meka's friends also. So we even sang on to Agnes B in her private party. It's like one of the known person in Paris. Accidentally, everything was happening very accidentally. So it was a very funny year. Also was doing horse riding in Paris and going to horse competitions, show jumping and research. So for me it was also kind of nice Paris experience. And I think it's also the Lithuanian Youth Society. It was 1 year that we worked together. I helped them to realize some kind of ideas and so on. So it was very nice to meet very interesting persons who study or work some interesting kind of stuff in Paris. So it gave me a lot.
Yeah. So just basically sort of the artistic bohemian culture lifestyle, I guess.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah. I think you were very lucky, you know, to actually experience all of that.
Yeah. But you're always thinking that I could experience it much more. Because when you're studying, there is kind of a phrase that French people use a lot. It's like dodo, métro, boulot. It means sleep, metro, work, sleep. So when you study, you go after to work also some days because you have to live from something.
You forget to live. Maybe
and then you like, I missed that
moment.
Exhibition, I missed that thing. You just
you kind of regret the things that you've
So you think, okay, was it Paris? What I did those years? So you want also to take more, but it's really enough what I took also, and you can always to come back and to visit your friends from art school and so on. To what I did this summer, I visited the studios and so on. It was very nice to see what they are doing, and it's also a very nice experience to see like almost everybody who finished the same year with me Paris Art Academy. I continue like an artist, showing in FIAC, in Art Fair Paris and so on, creating for galleries and so on. So I think maybe there is 2 or 3 students that change the way of living and what we're doing, but all the others are just artists. And you see each time their studios or what we're doing on Facebook, and it's the same kind of studio effect that you, I want to do also more.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. And you know, leaving Paris, coming back to your art styles and paintings, what do you think are like the key elements to your paintings, like the most important details and things?
Well, vertical, horizontal, yes. Then also water, because it's the sky. Also water in the lake and so on, reflections. So that reflection is not, the water is not flat, it's some kind of alternative space that continues. And it's the space also. And I like one thing, it's one little girl came to my paintings and she thought, oh, it's a painting made from sticks. Because it's like lots of
lots of vertical lines.
So maybe that thing also.
Yeah, so it's basically just combining those very like structural mathematical things with something that's very diverse and moving, like nature.
And also those structures for me is kind of reminds me constructions of basements, some houses.
Oh,
some
definitely.
Farms maybe, or some just constructions. So for me, it's also always about feeling that there is no wild nature, like in our country for sure.
Yeah.
You can like each 2 kilometers or 5 find some village, some farm, some abandoned construction or something. So you always feel human being near.
Yeah.
So for me, those constructions reminds me a bit of that lost nature, a bit that devastated nature.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about ecological problems and so on. Just I reflect landscape as it is, and it is beautiful, but also human trace left very strong.
Definitely.
And you can feel it, you can see it. There is forest which is like cut it, but it's also interesting place for reflect landscape. It's some strange shapes you can find there and everything. So I like to reflect that. And those constructions in my landscape is about kind of that human being trace. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to move on to your inspirations and stuff like that. So what are your main artistic influences, do you think?
Yeah, for me, I like very much SMLT David Hockney, Peter Doig is very beautiful, and I just love it. Also, just last month I came to Denmark, and it was one Danish artist. I just don't know her name. It's an art museum, very beautiful abstract landscapes also. So always my inspirations is about kind of also that limit between abstraction and the real image. And I love those artists who also, you can feel space in those landscapes. So I like what I do, and to see another creation also kind of trace of that. So mainly maybe those figures, but also I have much more. It's also, but now I will not just take those names, but mainly those artists.
Okay, and moving on to contests. If I'm correct, you won a second place in a very prestigious art contest, the Young Painters Prize. So what do you think determined your successful participation in that contest?
In those years, like it was 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so something like that. I think in 2013, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. So landscape, it's a pretty rare subject in contemporary art creation, especially in Lithuania. In all the world, maybe not very rare, because David Hockney does that, Peter Doig, and so on, much more artists. It's about talking about that. It's also related with pollution, with ecological problems, which is actual now. So landscape became very actual in art also. But in Lithuania, it was pretty rare, that thing. So I think for them it was impressive. Big landscapes, something really new, like old subject, just a landscape without nothing else, and big and beautiful, and just so we loved that. Also, I think maybe that nobody knew me because I just came those years from Paris, Art Academy in Lithuania. I was not existing. So for them it was like, what from here? Who is she? So I think that thing also, and it was very nice beginning in Lithuania for me, because people just heard my name. So plus Paris Art Academy, so it made something interesting for them.
Okay.
And what I'm doing, it was different, because I was not from Lithuania Art School, from Paris Art School. So it made nice beginning for me.
Okay, that's wonderful. And one of the last questions. What do you think is the key to becoming a successful artist? Like, I consider you to be a successful artist. What do you think got you to this place that you are now?
But for me, it's also about Paris Art School,
Yeah,
who
definitely.
shows you the way how
to create.
Yeah, not to create, how you have to go through your professional way also. You have to
Oh,
talk about
okay,
yourself.
tell me about
you
that.
have to have your portfolio, you have your website, there's art contest and so on and so on. So, and you have to do all things on the support, which like what I told about painting, that not on some kind of, I know, some trash stuff you have to paint. If it's your idea, yes, but if it's just accidentally, no.
Yeah.
So you have to find the support which fits the best. So like I do little aquarels which I can frame, and then I can show them in exhibition, and then people can buy them, take them. But I don't think about money. I'm thinking just about exhibition, because I like to do that for myself.
Yeah.
And I like when people come and admire what I am doing. So some of all egoistic stuff. And I like when it looks nice.
I mean, artists love attention and they love to be, recognized. So I think it's
Yeah.
totally normal to, want to do exhibitions and for people to come to see your work. That's
So it's everything about like successful, just to do that, not to stop, to do, and not to follow like what people are buying or what so on. Just in case can have just some second job, but not to work also full time, because it's not possible to be an artist and work full time.
Oh, really?
How much energy is left after?
Yeah, you have a point there. Yeah.
You cannot do that. But yeah, you have to live from something, so you have to deal. But just I don't know, just do what you like. But it's also kind of success, because for me, I took landscape because it was interesting for me. And I didn't thought that it's also some kind of thing that people likes to have inside their house or collection, because it's nice. So it was not my idea about that, but accidentally it goes like this. So it's also luck. Like, it really would be sad if you just do some landscapes if you don't like that, and just to do because people loves to have it. But also to make nice exhibitions, to each time just to show your work, it's important. And to make catalog, and just that everything will be in the highest level as much as you can do. And yeah, I think so. Maybe it's also important to have like ideas and projects for next year.
Oh, okay.
So it's good.
You have to
when
plan.
you have to make a project for exhibition. You have a space, and then it's next like deadline that helps you also to focus. You have to do. If you cannot find the time, even sometimes life is a bit disturbing, and it really can just disturb you to go to studio. So, but you have, and then you find some time and you do that work. Yeah. So I don't know. It's lots of things. Successful, you can win accidentally some art contest and become successful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about your finding what you love to do and do it. Research it deeply.
Yeah. If you had to come back at age like where you were like 12 years old or something, do you think you would have known that you would, take this art road very seriously and be who you are today, or not really? You didn't expect it?
Because my mother brought me to Lithuanian Art School, and it was like, I just went to that school,
Yeah.
I like to draw, but it was not my main wish. Maybe I was more like all the kids about animals, horses, some zoo parks, and some like all girls wish to have a pony and so on. So I was more about that, and I was doing horse riding from age of 14.
Yeah.
So all what I was curious about, it was horses.
Okay.
And art, it was okay. I was pretty like a good girl, so I will not manifest and skip to the other school. Plus, I liked it. It was nice. It was nice, but as I didn't got any those ideas what I want to do. Just I was good technically, but ideas was blocked in myself.
Creativity, I guess.
Creativity was blocked. So I was like, I can do it, but I don't feel something. So when I entered Paris preparatory school, then for me it was like, whoa, that's interesting.
Finally.
Was something interesting is happening.
Yeah.
And those art exhibitions in Paris main museums was for me, it's like, whoa, I like it. Like really to see those artworks. And then I thought, okay, if I will enter Paris Art Academy, some art school in France, I will study art. If no, I will come back and maybe I will do just I entered the art academy first year. I was in fresco and mosaic 1 year.
Okay.
But like half foot, one foot there and 1 foot thinking about Paris. So I thought, okay, then maybe I will work with horses in Lithuania. But when I entered Paris Art Academy and I saw how they approach students, that you're adult from the first year, how teacher, professor talks to you and all that magic of that school, then I thought, okay, I want to be an artist.
Okay.
But still, at the same time I was doing horse riding and I was thinking maybe to have 2 diplomas, like artist and horse trainer or something. But then I think it's 2011, 12 or 13, and I thought, okay, in horse riding I can be one of a million who just likes to ride horses pretty well, but not the best. And in art I'm really different, and I can
be my own.
Be my own, and also to show a way to others, because when you're different, and I will be unique here, and I have a chance to be unique here. So that's why I chose art. And then I chose definitely that horse riding is just a background, and sometimes, time to time, I will go to the horse riding, because sometimes I was just doing horse riding and not painting, and it was also like step by step. So I still love horses, but
And you also said that your mother took you to the art school, right?
Yeah.
Was she like a patron of art? Was she interested, or was it that she just saw your potential and thought that you should try that out?
Like my parents have ceramic
they
gallery.
are artists, right?
Yeah, in Terijos, so they have in Vilnius, in Mykolė Ganusauskaitė, and then in Paris also. So my mother, maybe for her, the way to the art was difficult, because her mother, my grandmother, was like opposite to that. You will not have money, what you will do in your life, because in those times artist career, really it was like risky stuff. And she made her way, but it was not for her very easy. And maybe that's why she wanted just to support us, and from the little kids she put me to the art groups and so on, and my brother to music classes. So now he's an actor.
Also an interesting...
It's Mykolė Ganusauskaitė.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an actor, and I went to the art. But still I'm questioning myself who I would be if not my mother who put me to art school. Maybe I would be an artist, but maybe I would just work with animals, I don't know. So it's always a question, but it's much more easy way when the kids who grow up and then you're searching what you want to do, who you want to be, because you didn't.
Because no one pushed you in that direction, I guess.
And you lost a million things that is interesting, and then you're just not doing anything. So it's kind of also, but both ways are interesting when you just find by yourself what you want to do, but also when somebody helps you when you're a child, it's also much more easy, because when you don't have those quiz what I want to do or I want to be when you are like 18 years, 12 or 20. Still you have, but it's much more easier.
Yeah, of course, sometimes you can even like raise yourself a question like, was I really meant to be an artist, if someone pushed
always.
Me, like, did I become who I wanted to be? But I think you did want to be an artist, you just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, it's possible also, because even that kind of thing that somebody pushes you to do something like art or music can make that you maybe don't want it, or you don't feel any more wish, you're just doing, but okay, just I have to do because I have to be nice. So you never know, there you lost that, why those questions came, but I don't know if I want to be an artist, maybe because you just had to do that in the school. It's a big question.
But I think you've really found your way.
I feel that because it's nice, I do what I like really, and but it's also like you never know, like those who are really big artists, like really the world-known artists and something, it's also maybe you're always questioning if I'm just very good at art or I have really a big talent and that thing. So you never know that thing. It's a different thing, because you can just be very good and get it how it works very well and just do it everything well. also you have to have some talents.
Definitely.
You have to be talented. But if it's really that big star in your heart burning, so you will never know. You will know just at the end of your life, and you're always questioning because it's a big question. So, but also just to be good at that and do what you like and be happy, it's also a big step and very nice thing.
And
to
you
have
are.
it. Yeah. That I have. That's sure.
Yeah. So, on that note, I also want to give you a little bit of our products. You know, to do your watercolor miniatures on, and you can even write me a review. You know how you like it or where you're gonna use it. And this was Mykolė, and thank you for visiting us, for talking with me. And we're also going to leave our social media here. You also find her social media and follow her, you know, and maybe give us some reviews. What do you think about her, about her art, or even our podcast? And thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.